The whole purpose of disaster relief is to help the hurting, give them a reason of hope, give them Jesus. And we've been doing that, and it's amazing how pretty much every call out right now, we have somebody coming to know Jesus.
I first got involved with DR after my husband died. That phase of my life had gone, even though he'll always be forever in my memory. And I knew that God was opening up a new phase for my life, so I prayed to see what that would be. And he very clearly told me to go and tell. So I said, well, I need to share my faith. So I heard about DR and from our church and said that might be something I could do to share my faith with. So I signed up to go.
I've always, even in working in the workplace, had a heart for being the hands and feet of Jesus, as the saying goes. But this puts the skin on it, like with the Good Samaritan. The ones who were the experts kept passing on the guy that was in need of help. And the one who probably you would have said, yeah, he probably had every right to keep on going. You know, the Samaritan said, let me do what I can do. And as you read the story, he didn't do it start to finish. He handed it off to some other people that were maybe more capable. And I kind of feel that way where it's, I don't know everything to do, but there's enough people involved that we can come together. And when we go into a community that needs help, that's all they care about. Can you help me?
I remember I was driving a big truck, pulled off at a gas station, and some lady come up and tapped me on the shoulder and go on and on and on about how much you meant to her, how much you helped her. And then I realized she wasn't talking about this year's storm. She was talking about one 5 years ago. The impact we leave lasts a lifetime. And not just the people we're serving, but to their neighbors and community. And it's our hope that we point the survivors and the whole communities to Jesus.
I was sharing Christ with a gal in a trailer. One of the volunteers came in and said, when you're through, do you think you could go down to the young gal who lives in the trailer below? I think she's anxious to accept Jesus. Well, she was 17 years old and was so excited to find out she had never read a Bible. She didn't even have one. But I started telling her the story from the very beginning of the Old Testament to the New about Jesus. She said, I want to know him. How do I do that? And I'd never seen anybody ask me before to want to know more about Jesus and to accept him as Savior. That was an exciting thing, especially from a 17-year-old. And she accepted Christ right on the spot.
They get the temporary hope, but the goal is to get them plugged into the churches that those communities we serve in, and give them that eternal hope. And so many salvations and generally speaking, the churches that we stay at in those areas, they do see their attendance increase.
I remember another place where there was a flood out. The lady had a special needs boy, and there was so much stuff that we just had to throw out. The lady was in so much despair. But we had two ladies sit next to her on her carport and just go over and show her things. And how, oh, you really want to say, well, we can treat this a little bit, you know, but then also, no, you got to let go of this. And they made such a difference. They could just sit and talk and comfort her. And that, you know, no matter what your skills are, there is something for you. There is an opportunity for everybody.
If you're inclined to want to serve and help and get a flavor of it, we'll do things locally now that you don't have to unplug from your family or your home and say, oh, I gotta go out of town and I'll be back in a few days. And that's available too. On any of those call outs that are a distance away, you can still do a one-day deal.
If you want to be the hands and feet of Jesus and serve during a disaster or some sort of an opportunity to serve, you need to come and join us.